Hello and welcome to the Through the Pain podcast. This is a place for chronic pain and chronic illness warriors to dare, dance, and dream through the pain. Hey everybody, this is Dima. I am a sickle cell warrior and the creator of the Through the Pain podcast. And I am happy to announce that the Through the Pain podcast will be returning on Thursday, March 3rd, 2022. But before we get into the episode, which will be premiering next week, I want to give you a little preview of our new segment called PainFULL Conversations. We are not just going to be talking about sickle cell. We're going to be talking about anything. And this first conversation with my dear friend, Elsa Franco, we were talking about Black History, Black History Month, school projects, a slew of topics, including sickle cell disease. So tune in, listen, you heard it first here. This right here is a podcast topic right here. So I'm going to record this. Let me backtrack.
Just like this and hear what you have to say.
Right,
this is
right. Okay.
AF.
Okay. So my son comes home 2 weeks ago, says he has a history report. It's February. It's still Black History Month.
Still is. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So they randomize they put names in a hat and then they pull out the names of the people that they're going to do the history report on. My son randomly picks out Annie Oakley. In all of Black History Month, we picking out Annie Oakley. So my question is, why was she in
the hat in the drawing?
Why was she in the hat? It's Black History Month. To my Black son, who can't even look at a gun or he'll get killed, it has to do a report on a white woman who was a champion, shots whatever she was doing with the guns, who was praised for, right. And you're in a Black, predominantly Cape Verdean, Haitian, Black community.
In our city.
And she has to do a report on Annie Oakley. It made no sense to me.
I'm convinced. I saw this thing on Facebook the other day about a teacher in Newton that a Montessori school in Newton where the teacher had the toddlers paint blackface.
Blackface! I really am convinced.
I like reading the comments. There were actually people defending her. Oh, she just didn't know. Houseway, how long you been alive? How long you been alive? Sorry, I get
the microaggressions. It's not even microaggression at this point. It's macroaggression.
Exactly. It's pure. It's aggressive.
It's so aggressive. It's not even passive. It's like
it's not. And I'm convinced they deliberately do this to see: are you going to acquiesce or are you going to raise hell?
This thing is, I'm one of the parents that, she don't really have to say nothing. I'm one of those parents that are like really passive. Like I just chill and kind of like, I'm in my son's face, but I don't go off at teachers. I don't do none of that. I try. But whenever he said Annie Oakley,
I like that. I try.
He said Annie Oakley. I went off.
Wow. Why was that even an option?
Why is that an option with these Black kids?
Oh, in Black History Month.
And you have to present this to the kindergartners. What?
To the kindergartners?
Kindergartners. So you gonna present the woman, you gonna praise the woman that did the gun stuff so I said no. I said I emailed her nicely.
I thought we were progressive.
Oh, I said, okay, let me just calm down before I go to the school and start being Annie Oakley for real.
If you want the report.
She about to get Annie Oakley. I'm about to shoot up the school. And with just the teachers. I'm about to let me calm down. Let me calm down. And I emailed. I said, dear Miss So-and-so, I'm not gonna say her name.
Yeah.
Is it true that you have my child doing a report on Annie Oakley? She responded, yes, he picked her name out of a hat.
Why was it?
Then I unleashed. Why would you give a Black boy in all of Black History Month a white woman who shot up stuff and was a champion shot, whatever she was? I don't even give a damn. Whatever, she was a champion at shooting stuff and people.
Probably
so,
Black people.
But however, you couldn't find nobody Black in Black History Month. She was like, well, we had a whole bunch of people. I'm like, can you take that name out of the hat? That name needs to not be
the name even. Why is any white name in it? I mean, I'm assuming you're doing a history project in Black history for a reason during Black History Month for it. So why not do it on a Black?
We were just doing a history thing, period. But it's Black History Month. So one kid had Thomas Jefferson, and one kid had but nevertheless, they're mostly Black kids. There's no white kids in his class. Yeah. So I'm like, why are you having these random people? Can he find a Black dude can we find somebody that's like my son, so my son can emulate? There's so many inventors. There's so many Black people that invented the refrigerator.
Invented everything.
We've invented everything.
Everything.
So Houseway, how are you how? So we're praising the people that shoot up. We're praising the people that shoot up stuff or take over land that's not theirs, or becomes the president by I don't understand. I don't get it. Even Henry Ford, the people that work for him and the scientists.
He was a thief too.
Black. The people.
He was a thief too. The car was not his invention. He just put his name on it.
Hello. Can we not do that? So what I did, she responded back. She responded nicely. And she said, after considering what you just said, which she's a young teacher.
See, the thing is, it's how are you a teacher and you didn't consider all angles and how it would affect your pupils before I mentioned it.
You're gonna give a Black boy who's a sweet soul, by the way, who is artistic and talented, a white woman that shoots stuff up? That's not even in his nature. That's not his this. Okay, if you want to learn about a white woman, let's do Mrs. Roosevelt. Let's do, you know what I'm saying? You want to talk about white people?
There's some good seeds out there that could be that you can pick from.
Let's do Eleanor Roosevelt. Yeah. That's cool. No, we don't get any. No, we're not doing Annie Oakley. It's I said we are going to pick out somebody that my son and I are going to pick out somebody that kind of matches his personality.
Yeah.
And who he can emulate. Somebody that looks like him. Somebody that's, that is around his type of innovation and his artistic attitude.
Yeah.
So I'm going to pick somebody from the Harlem Renaissance.
Nice.
Because people from the Harlem Renaissance, they were artistic, they were innovators, just like my son. And so we picked James, I forgot his name already, James Vanderzee, who was he was born in Massachusetts. How about that? Born in Lenox, Massachusetts, and he was a photographer during the Harlem Renaissance.
Nice.
And he photographed Marcus Garvey quite a bit. Nice. And this was the camera that he used.
Oh.
And he was also a violinist. He was also
all things artistic.
All things artistic.
That just goes to speak to you as a parent. Again, you saw that there was an issue.
We're not doing that.
No,
we're not doing. That's not cute. We're not doing that.
You need to go advocate for your kid. Not today.
That wasn't cute. That wasn't cute. We're not doing that.
I'm like, seriously, like, how do these teachers, is she from here?
I don't know. I think another teacher, what my son said, another teacher that was probably older and is just like not, was really aggressive with her nonsense, picked it out. And she just became a bystander because she's younger. She's younger than me. The teacher's very young. She's like in her 20s. And
Listen, if you can't stand up for your students, and you shouldn't be a teacher.
I don't think she gets it. I really, after she saw the email, she was like, oh, you know,
Yeah.
like I think sometimes
You might need some sensitivity training in that school.
cultural competency.
Yeah.
She was not, I feel like she was not culturally competent. And when she got it, she was like, oh, let's change that. We're taking that name off the hat, period. And if we taking names out of the hat, I need Thomas Jefferson's name to be out that hat. I need George Washington's name to be out that hat.
Let's make it a Black history thing.
I need, like, if
that's the other thing too, that a lot of these kids, especially in this age, because a lot of the stuff that I know today, all these people that invented all these things, I've just learned in my own research over the last few years. So there's no way that any of these kids know. So this would have been the perfect opportunity to throw, well, then that would make them all look like thieves.
They are sorry.
They are.
I'm offending somebody when I say this, but they're thieves.
It's okay. Honestly, if you take someone's invention or work of art or any literary thing and you put your name on it, if you take something that doesn't belong to you, you stole it, right?
Right.
That's what many of these people have done. But besides that, there are also just a lack of education on who actually invented, like, refrigeration. I didn't know that until that company that I worked for, because we used a lot of refrigeration. So the only time they ever talked about the things that Black people did was during Black History Month, but let's focus. But I guess it all goes back to even all this critical race theory that they're trying to delete from being learned, or giving parents the option to opt out. You don't give me the option to opt out of anything that's outside of or in the curriculum of everything else. Why are parents being given the option not to teach their kids about this, that, and the other?
You can't
specifically to Black history.
You can't delete critical race theory because it's American history. How can you have history? How can you have American history and avoid everything Black? I could not, as a child, I could not understand. It didn't make any sense to me that there was we only had like 2 pages. It's like sickle cell. We had
sickle cell is Black history, Dima.
It's like,
how is it that the oldest disease, and this is about to get real good. How is it that in the last 80 years, the stats still only say 100,000 people are affected by sickle cell?
And how is that, Sway? And there's so many babies born. There's so many babies born a year.
1 in 365 to be exact.
How
many is that? I think I did the math some time ago, because I like to crunch numbers too. So I looked at how many, I can't remember the exact number now, but tens of thousands of Black children are born every year, and 1 in every 365 are born with sickle cell. How the heck is that 100,000 still? How is it? But I guess, if we keep it at 100,000, then it could be classified as a rare disease. Well, maybe it shouldn't be classified as a freaking rare disease,
because
it's not rare.
Not a rare disease.
It's not rare. But also, how about just the fact that I went through 30 something years of life and did not know that I had the trait?
That's a problem.
Same thing for Sean, but same thing for all these people that don't know. And then this may offend, so I won't say that. I'm like, you have people doing everybody. The more reason now you should push knowing your genotype, know who you're sleeping with, because your offspring is going to suffer. Even if they only have one crisis ever, that is going to be the worst day of their lives.
Oh my God.
Even if it's just one crisis ever, that's not a pain that any parent should want their child to go through. I remember the first time I saw my child suffering and I could not give him a piece of candy, a phone or something to like take the pain away. That was the most helpless I had ever been. And yeah, the education about, well, we can like, go on a whole
forever. But I really like, I'm just saying, in history books, Black history only accounts for maybe 10 pages, not even. I'm
not
being
even
very liberal when I say 10 pages.
Dima, I don't remember us ever like going in depth about Black History Month as a child.
Right.
Not at all. It wasn't until I got in the corporate world when you're like, oh, companies are forced to talk about it. And, you know, once a week for 4 weeks, you may get a Black history fact. So I heard 4 facts every year because they weren't doing it all week. Or you may get a flyer, we used to call it like elevator posters, a flyer in an elevator with maybe 4 different facts. So all month you look at the same thing, but it's still like, that's it. I don't remember having, there's a lot of things that I still remember, but I don't remember it going in depth into the education or just even the contributions of Black people. Like whenever I heard, oh, the Black man invented potato chips, like, oh my God, like, yeah. Or peanut oil, like just like all these things, so many things, refrigeration. I can go down the list, but it's like
a lot of the surgical procedures that help with sickle cell today were invented by people of color. The fact that sickle cell disease was a thing, like a lot of it was attributed with people of color. I just feel like the fact that there is a textbook now to educate us about, not only educate us, but educate researchers about sickle cell disease is a big deal.
It's a huge deal.
It's a huge deal. So my thoughts about critical race theory is, this is like, we need to have our own books. How this is needed. We need to
have one for every different type of crisis.
Right.
All the different things that you guys go through. All of the from top to bottom, how the mental health,
right,
the way that affects your eyes, your kidneys, your heart, your teeth, your hearing, like your nails, like just so many things that I'm like, before I'm like, oh my God, if I even start, how much stuff would I have to say about sickle cell? And I'm like, a lot.
I think a woman, there should be a textbook for
just women,
for a woman who has
for men,
for a man that has sickle cell, because there's so many different things happening.
And then like and categorize it in different stages. Mm-hmm. If you don't see it, create it.
And that's the thing. There's a lot, because we're creating a lot and we're not getting credit for it. We're not getting funded for it, and we're tired.
Yeah, funding. It's you need money for everything.
We need money.
People say money isn't everything,
but it really is.
I like to beg to differ. I say you haven't lived enough. Right. You haven't traveled. You have not found the right causes to support. You haven't seen the need that there is, because I mean, it doesn't buy happiness, but happiness is subjective. I mean, obviously you can't go into a store and purchase happiness, but I bet if you had someone that was caring or researching around the clock to find a specialized care for you as Dima with your DNA, I bet you that would make you pretty happy.
Yes.
If you found things to improve your quality of life that you can actually go and purchase, I bet you that would make you pretty happy.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
we went all over the place with this story time. This was meant to just be a story time. But of course, it went right back.
The reason why I say, because But that's what I think that's the nature of sickle cell.
Yeah.
It brings you so many places.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this was awesome.
For sure. Yeah.
For tools, merchandise, and additional information, log on to our website, www.throughthepain.org. This has been a Public Praise Media production.